From New York Jazz Club on Wednesday to the Huddersfield dugout on Saturday, Neil Warnock's back, which means we must be into the final third of the EFL season. He made his return against Birmingham. Another experienced Championship campaigner looked for his first win since returning to the hot seat as Mick McCarthy's Blackpool faced Stoke, looking to move off the bottom. But we start at Kenilworth Road, where Luton Town's promotion credentials would be fully tested against the runaway leaders Burnley, who were looking for a fifth straight win on the road. Watching this one, Paul Walker.
Aaron Muric had to be replaced at half-time when he went off ill in the week, replaced by Bailey Peacock-Farrell. And was a mistake from Muric that allowed Watford to get their goal. As Luton come forward here, nicely works, and Muric is extended. Tipped away by Aaron Muric. Really good Luton play. Adebayo denied. Little touch inside from Carlton Morris. Muric had to be alert and was. Brownhill and Goodmanson over this ball. It's the Icelander. Forces a good save out of Horvath, who plunges to his right to tip it round the post. Excellent free kick that. Osho pushes it through for Mpanzu. Shifted wide for Amari Bell. And Mpanzu looking to get it back and has got it back. Brilliant play. Can he find the right cross? He certainly can. And Adebayo somehow puts it over. Fabulous football from the Hatters. And Mpanzu does so well here. And Adebayo has to hit the target from there, surely. A let-off for Burnley. Brownhill through the middle. Teller could be in. Neat drop of the shoulder. Teller again. Went down. Jeremy Simpson says no. He says absolutely not. Well, Nathan Teller was convinced he was fouled inside the area. It's Reece Burke who challenges him. Is there any contact there? It's difficult to tell. Ekdal's set play. Cullen did so well to keep that alive. Vitinho. Handball in the box, was there? Jeremy Simpson has a look and points to the spot. Burnley have a penalty. Gabe Osho, the arm is out. Josh Cullen leading the appeals. There's a card out. Tom Lockyer was the Luton player booked. And it's Ashley Barnes who will take responsibility from 12 yards. It's Barnes. It's 1-0 Burnley, and after a brief loss of power against Watford in the week, it is all systems go again for this relentless winning machine. Ashley Barnes from the spot makes it Luton Town 0, Burnley 1. Meanwhile, Tom Lockyer has been given his marching orders for a second yellow card. Lockyer was protesting, and he protested too much. And Luton, having gone a goal down, are now reduced to 10 men.
Neil Warnock's passion for the game knows no limits, even age 74. And if Huddersfield are going to beat the drop, he'll demand the same from his players over the next 15 games. There were 7 changes in the home lineup, but within 6 minutes, the mood had changed as well. Troy Deeney recalled as Birmingham captain, proving his eye for goal is as sharp as ever. It'll never win goal of the month, but an inviting cross from Juninho Bakuna surely demanded better from his former teammates as Deeney took the knee in individual style. The steely gaze said more than any words from the home dugout. But minutes later, action spoke louder for his team. Blues keeper John Ruddy did his best Zach Crawley impression, and Etienne Camara did everything right except score. Birmingham had a let-off, and manager John Eustace could sense a switch in momentum. It was certainly just the encouragement Town needed, because from back to front, they mightn't score a better goal all season. From Nicholas Bilakapic, making a rare start. Fast, direct, with Jaheim Headley straight from the Warnock handbook for the first goal on his second coming. Scored by Joe Hungbo, a dream strike to open his account in English football. How to impress your new manager in one easy move. Parent club Watford will have noted that for their promotion run-in. Meanwhile, a former Hornet striker almost got on the score sheet again. 2 minutes after the restart, with the home side settling in again, Captain Deeney launched himself at the ball, determined to play on any nerves with so much at stake. And within 2 minutes after that, Bila Kapic was at his creative best again. This time, Headley was on the left, but the finish was right on the money, and Birmingham were counting the cost. This was a slide with a smile, the gloom of their worst run without a league win this season visibly lifting as Headley enjoyed his first goal for Town. Terrier tails were up, and Birmingham were chasing theirs as their backline was unpicked again. Jack Radoni was ready and waiting to make it 3, only for Harley Dean to arrive at the tackle at the vital moment. Penalty protests from the men in blue and white, and when did the manager ever hold back in the technical area if he felt officials had got it wrong? Some things never change. 12 minutes of stoppage time were added, leaving Warnock to feel he'd aged another 74 years. City's best chance to rescue a point fell to Deeney, but there was nothing doing this time. From a Wembley win to secure promotion in 1995 to a first win in 2023, Warnock is back in the old routine like he's never been away.
The signs have been promising in the first 3 weeks of Sean Maloney's return to Wigan, placing a big emphasis on reconnecting the fans, staff and players. Will Keane had a great opportunity to further strengthen that bond, but Angus Gunn stood strong. Maloney had won 1 and drawn 2 so far, and called for his side to tighten things up in both boxes in their next step towards survival. Gunn's poor clearance presented another good chance. Neither Callum Lang or Keane could fully punish him. David Wagner was again without Tiamu Puki through injury, but his arrival as head coach has rejuvenated others like Onel Hernandez and Gabriel Sara. Sara's corner almost provided Grant Hanley with the winner. The slow but steady improvement continues for both bosses.
Stoke dominated the stats sheet against a Blackpool side who hadn't won in 14 in the league, but the numbers don't matter if you fail to take your chances. An early one here for the Potters' Dwight Gale, but he was unable to get it on target. And they were made to pay for that miss moments later. Manchester City loanee Luis Fiorini found Ian Poveda in plenty of space, and the Leeds United loanee decided to try his luck. The fickle finger of football fortune favoured Blackpool as his shot took a deflection off the back of Jordan Thompson. But when you haven't scored in over 15 months, you'll take whatever you can get. Mick McCarthy will take 3 points any way he can get them. The Potters poured it on in the second half, but homekeeper Chris Maxwell was out to pick up a long overdue win bonus. Tyrese Campbell's deflected shot looked a goal all the way. Somehow Maxwell managed to keep it out. Campbell not the only one who couldn't quite believe it. With 15 minutes left, Southampton loanee Will Smallbone stood over a free kick, channeling his inner James Ward-Prowse. But he didn't channel enough of it, hitting the side netting as Maxwell scurried over and came second in a collision with the post. A painful moment for Maxwell, but a profitable afternoon at last for the Tangerines, a win which lifts them off the foot of the table. Maxwell's taking on Tyson Fury next week.
Next we go to the Den, where Millwall played the first of consecutive home matches against the top 2. Sheffield United were first up. Dave Farrer is your commentator.
Millwall have lost 6 of their last 10 against teams who are 9th or higher in the table. They get us underway against second-placed Sheffield United. Millwall, if you're new to all of this, in the blue, who kick from right to left. Sheffield United in that rather unfamiliar change kit of theirs. And that's hooked in right on top of the goalkeeper. And Cooper was there trying to pick up the pieces. And this is going to take some working out. Wes Fotheringham caught there. Well, Bradshaw, I suppose, heads Fotheringham in the chest, doesn't he? We expected a real tempo to this game, expected it to be tight as well. Right start this, and it rolls all the way through. Huge opportunity for Bradshaw. And that is one brave save from Fotheringham. He comes out, he spreads himself, and he makes the save. And here's the strong running Oliver Burke. Slips it through for Bradshaw. No mistake this time. Millwall on fire. A big early chance, and now an early goal. Burke for Bradshaw. 1-0 Millwall. Thrilling start. Fotheringham beaten at the near post. Is he mobile here, the goalkeeper? I'm not so sure. Up towards Cooper, nudges it down. Over goes Bradshaw. Well, flag is up, so they don't need to make the decision on the penalty. As it's touched on, he's not off there. Not from this angle anyway. I tell you what, I think they're a bit unlucky here. Yeah, free kick, soft one. Jefferson did well to buy that. Cooper should have stayed away, really. No need to lunge in here. Clumsy bit of defending that. Gives United the chance to craft something from this set piece. Norwood has stepped away. It is Doyle to curve one in and beat George Long to draw them level. He caught it sweetly, but the former Sheffield United goalkeeper has to do better. A moment of quality from Doyle. And that has subdued the Millwall fans. Beautifully knocked down now for McNamara. Sheffield United with nearly 90% possession in the early stages of this second half, and here they come again, McBurney. And he does have support from Jefferson. Oh, what about that end-to-end? It's a really good save, but the threat is still there. Just couldn't find the opening. Jefferson didn't do too much wrong. It's a lovely take from Fleming. Fleming, was he fouled in there? The header, though, is brilliant from Bradshaw for his second to put them back in front. Fleming thought he was pushed in the back. Bradshaw didn't care about that. Eyes on the ball. Brilliantly directed into the corner. What a good header this is. Header from Cooper. Well, that's pulled across. Huge chance. James McAtee draws Sheffield United level. Boy, did he keep his nerve here. Another twist in a quite brilliant game. Won by Cooper. This could develop into something. Oh, it does! And it's a hat-trick for Tom Bradshaw. This topsy-turvy game takes yet another twist, and maybe that's the final one. Millwall 3, Sheffield United 2. What a game.
Still to come, two teams in contrasting form as promotion-hunting Middlesbrough took on free-falling QPR.
Neil Critchley's only had the QPR job for a couple of months, but is already feeling the heat. His team restricted Borough impressively in the first half. The second was very different. Michael Carrick, a managerial magician, looking to conjure a 9th league win in 10. Riley McGree frustrated by keeper and post. The hosts knew they could close to within 4 points of lunchtime losers Sheffield United with a maximum. There's no doubt who's making the men in red. A Riverside, Teesside, topside. Chuba Akpom once again taking centre stage for Middlesbrough. As his remarkable season-long scoring spree continued, he rejoiced as if he hadn't scored for ages. Shirt off, yellow card given, but lead achieved thanks to a trademark Chuba header. The R's without a victory since the 17th of December, and they were now very much on the back foot. McGree looked ready to make it 2-0, only for Tim Irobenham to challenge and concede a penalty. A glorious opportunity to double the advantage, allowing the main marksman looking for his second of the afternoon to get ready from 12 yards. And though Seny Dieng initially denied him, he was ready and able on the follow-up. 19 in the league, the golden 20 in all comps, and we're only in February. The Londoners had an outstanding record at this stadium of late, having triumphed on their previous 3 visits, and Ilias Chair cleverly gave them just a smidgen of hope of staging a late comeback. Zach Steffen caught off guard superbly by the quick-thinking Moroccan. The home side reacted, as you'd expect. It was so important to keep the momentum going after Wednesday's success in South Yorkshire. From a Matt Crooks cross, McGree made sure that's exactly what happened. That's 4 games running in which they've netted 3 times. A playoff charge looks like it may become an automatic promotion one.
5th place Sunderland were chasing a 4th win in 5 league games against a Bristol City side who were mid-table but hadn't lost since Boxing Day. Although Robins boss Nigel Pearson did say his team dropped 2 points in their midweek draw of strugglers Wigan, a game which included a first assist for new signing Anis Mehmeti, who nearly got his first goal here as he seeks to fill the creative void left behind by Antoine Semenyo going to Bournemouth. Sunderland came into this weekend just 12th in the home table, having taken 4 more points on their travels this campaign. But their league form at the Stadium of Light has improved recently, and just before the hour mark, the home fans could celebrate here. An absolute perler from Jack Clarke, a 5th goal in his last 6 games, including a midweek double in the win at QPR, and the kind of goal that only gets better with every replay. Bristol City were unbeaten in their last 5 Championship away games, their best run since October 2019. But that looked under real threat here as Sunderland pushed to complete a league double, Patrick Roberts forcing a good save from Max O'Leary. Bristol City looked set for a first loss in 11, but had a lifeline in stoppage time as Trey Hume caught Jay Da Silva late, giving the Robins a first penalty in 469 days. Anthony Patterson had saved all 3 spot kicks he'd faced this season though, including one 4 days ago in victory at QPR. But Nahki Wells equalised to move on to 10 Championship goals this season, rescuing a point and meaning both sides extend their unbeaten runs.
Swansea hadn't won at Ewood Park since September 1971, a near 52-year wait to try and end a winless run. And Russell Martin's side started well, just 15 minutes gone when Ben Cabango climbed above everyone to drive his header towards goal. Ainsley Pears relieved to see the ball crash off the bar. The Rovers keeper alert enough to gather in the follow-up from Harry Darling. Rovers are the draw specialists of the Championship. John Dole Thomason's side had come away with a point in each of their last 4 matches. With chances few and far between, it was looking highly likely this was going to be an unwanted 5th draw on the spin. Just before the hour mark, Sorba Thomas had his effort cleared away. It was proving to be a frustrating afternoon for Thomason. Earlier this week he talked about managing Bradley Dack's fitness. The striker came on and managed just 13 minutes before limping off, but the Dane ended the day with a smile on his face. Daniel Ayala making his first Championship start since a red card in January, diving in to get Blackburn back to winning ways. An 89th minute goal for the home side and a first 3 points since New Year's Day.
For full throttle blood and guts drama, sorry, this wasn't the place to be. Visiting Preston couldn't even manage a single shot on target all afternoon. Manchester City loanee Liam Delap had probably their best chance, but all he could do was ruffle the side netting. But as toothless as they were going forward, Preston were resolute at the back, so Hull found chances at a premium. Ryan Longman whipped in a cross in first half stoppage time, but although Greg Docherty managed to get a shot of sorts away after Jordan Storey had tried and failed to clear the danger, it ended up being a comfortable save for visiting keeper Freddie Woodman. There were chances galore in the second half. All right, I'm lying. This was the only genuine one. Alfie Jones on target from the corner, and Woodman again doing the necessary. In the end, this mid-table tussle between 2 teams busy going nowhere ended up in the rather disappointing stalemate.
Be aggressive, make the most of home advantage was Matt Taylor's message to his Rotherham players. And 4 minutes in, Jürgen Hugel thought he'd done just that. But referee Keith Stroud had other ideas, completely unmoved by United protests. Replay suggests shirt pulling by number 22 Hakeem Adoffin in the middle of the area as Hugel was preparing his run into the far post. How different Taylor's afternoon could have been if that header had been allowed. Because minutes into the second half, the manager watched his defence pulled apart, and Jamie Allen's second touch was quick enough to beat Victor Johansson. Buoyed by their midweek win at high-flying Millwall, City were riding a wave of newfound confidence. Talk about being sent to Coventry, Allen was completely ignored by those in red and white. As much as defensive woes, Taylor will note how his attack managed just one shot on target in the whole match. That puts even more pressure on the back line, and when errors like this keep creeping in stoppage time, it can only mean trouble, especially with Viktor Gyökeres back on the scoring trail and hungry for more. That's 2 in 2 for the striker, and 2 wins in 2 for Mark Robins on his return to the club where he played and managed. If only Rotherham fans could rediscover that winning feeling. Their relegation rivals are closing in.
Cardiff's a city known for its castles, but the football club haven't been king of theirs, going into this one without a win here since October. Mark McGuinness auditioned for the role of Dirty Rascal. His challenge on Amadou and Mbengue certainly provoked a reaction, but not a red card. We'll leave you to make up your own mind. Callum Robinson scored in a crucial midweek victory and almost did so again. A nice 1-2 there with Ryan Wintle. Sabri Lamouchi's team with noses above relegation waters and looking to steal a march on those below them. Under the new boss, they seem to have rediscovered their mojo. Oh, so close from Sheyi Ojo. His effort deflecting off Mbengue. Reading with a rotten recent record on the road. They were second best, but just about hanging on. When it looked set to remain 0-0, Romain said no. This Friday night is still young. Sawyer's threading through for all the points. Party time for the hosts. A first home success for Lamouchi. Nothing like celebrating a late winner. Very different emotions for the away boss as the Royals once again fell to defeat on their travels.
So wins for Neil Warnock's Huddersfield and Mick McCarthy's Blackpool, while Millwall and Sunderland were the only winners of the playoff sides. Away wins for Burnley at Luton and Coventry at Rotherham. Burnley's promotion push marches on, but the real interest comes in second and third, where Sheffield United's loss and Middlesbrough's win means the gap's down to 4 points. Millwall are into the top 6. Wigan remain unbeaten under Sean Maloney, but still go bottom after those Huddersfield and Blackpool victories. The bottom 3 all level on points, just 2 behind Rotherham now. Manager Michael Duff enjoyed a triumphant return to Cheltenham as his Barnsley side won 4-0. Herbie Kane's superb volley, the pick of the goals. Ipswich also hit 4 against Forest Green Rovers on a day where Sir Bobby Robson was remembered in what would have been his 90th birthday. Sheffield Wednesday thrashed MK Dons 5-2. Wycombe beat their playoff rivals Bolton 1-0. Wednesday's win, coupled with Plymouth's draw with Fleetwood, puts them top again on goal difference. Ipswich tucked 8 points behind in third. Wins for Derby, Barnsley and Wycombe against Bolton. Cambridge beat Oxford to go level on points with MK Dons, who drop into the relegation zone following Accrington's victory against Shrewsbury. Forest Green now 8 points adrift. Hartlepool moved out to the relegation zone in League 2 after a dramatic match at playoff hopefuls AFC Wimbledon. After trailing 2-0, Dan Kemp's brace included an equaliser in the 6th minute of stoppage time to complete a remarkable turnaround. League 2 leaders Leyton Orient beat Crawley, but defeats for second place Stevenage at Stockport and Northampton. Swindon won for the first time under Jody Morris at Salford. Just like Hartlepool, Crewe came from 2 down to draw at Harrogate. Orient have a mammoth 18-point lead over 4th place Northampton in the nearest playoff spot. Carlisle's win over Colchester means they're only 2 points behind Stevenage now. Stockport are 6th. Ever improving Gillingham are now 4 points above the drop, winning 2-0 at Rochdale, who are cut 6 adrift at the bottom. A costly Crawley defeat as they drop into the bottom 2. That's it for this week's EFL action. We leave you with proof that age is just a mere number, as Neil Warnock makes a dream start to his return to the dugout at Huddersfield. Goodbye for now.